Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into something pretty unique today.
Oh, yeah.
We're exploring the work of Alexandra.
Uh-huh.
She's better known as the Black Rose online,
Mm-hmm.
and she's built this website called the Black Rose NYC,
Okay.
where she blends fiction with film and even personal reflections, all in one place.
It's fascinating, really.
So what makes this website stand out from, say, just a regular author's website?
Well, it's more of an experience than just, a portfolio. It's like
Right.
a portal into her creative vision, her whole world, really.
I like that, a portal.
And the thing is, her faith plays a huge role in everything she creates.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's not just in her novels, but also her short films, podcasts, and even a section called Privé.
Privé.
Yeah, like a private look into her thoughts and inspirations.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to the faith element for a second.
Sure.
You said it's central to her work, but how so? Is it like just a surface level thing, or is it more than that?
Oh, no, it's definitely more. I mean, she's very open about her belief in God and Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's clear that it's not just some plot device she throws in.
Yeah.
It's woven into the fabric of her storytelling. It influences how her characters develop, the choices they make. Like, they often grapple with doubt and, they seek guidance and ultimately find strength in their faith.
So it's like a reflection of her own personal journey.
Exactly. It adds a layer of authenticity to her work, makes it resonate more deeply.
So it's not just about religion then.
Right.
It's about exploring like the human condition through that lens.
You got it.
Interesting.
She uses her platform to explore these universal themes,
Like what?
like resilience, hope, the search for meaning, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
All seen through the lens of faith.
It makes you think, huh?
Definitely makes you think.
So let's talk about her novels.
Okay.
We've got two series here. The Killing Game and the Yugoslavian series.
Right.
Just from the titles, they sound pretty intense.
Oh, they are. Yeah. The Killing Game series, it revolves around this FBI agent, Yves Andrich, and an author, Alina Kovar.
Interesting pairing.
Right.
FBI agent and an author.
And their love story, it plays out against this backdrop of crime and mystery.
Whoa.
Yeah, talk about testing a relationship.
Seriously.
But it's not all just, like, car chases and shootouts.
There's going to be more to it.
There is. It's about their love enduring these insane challenges, about resilience.
You mentioned history earlier.
I did.
Does that play a role in these novels?
Big time. She weaves in real historical events and figures, which adds this whole other layer.
Wow, so it's not just about the immediate case, but also how the past shapes things.
You got it. It's like, echoes of history influencing us today.
I like that.
Then there's the Yugoslavian series, which takes us to a completely different setting.
Yeah, war-torn Yugoslavia after the siege of Sarajevo, to be exact.
Right.
Heavy stuff.
Definitely a period of devastation and loss.
What made Alexandra choose this setting?
Well, this series introduces us to Evan Jurek, called the Black Rebel.
The Black Rebel, okay.
And then there's Tess Fordell, a writer and philanthropist.
Another writer character, huh?
They have this unlikely encounter in the aftermath of the siege, and Tess ends up on this mission to find a missing orphan.
Wow.
Can you imagine stepping into a war zone just to find one child?
It takes a certain kind of courage, that's for sure.
It's about hope, too, right? Even in the
It's-
bleakest situations.
So she's not afraid to confront tough topics like war and loss.
Not at all.
But you also mentioned hope. How does that fit in?
That's what's amazing about her writing,
Yeah,
She doesn't sugarcoat the brutality of war, but she also shows the strength of the human spirit.
I see.
It's about finding connection and hope, even in those devastating circumstances.
Powerful stuff.
And it shows how compassion and empathy can, transcend even the darkest times.
We've talked a lot about her novels, but she doesn't stop there, right?
Oh, no.
He also brings her stories to life through film and podcasts.
Uh,
So tell me more about that.
Well, she goes beyond the written word,
Yeah.
She expands into different mediums to create this truly immersive experience. Her website has these book trailers, like mini movies, that give you a glimpse into the novels.
Cool.
And she even adapts some of her articles into short films with music and narration and everything.
So it's like she's inviting you to experience her work on multiple levels.
Exactly. Seeing it, hearing it, feeling it all come to life.
Multifaceted, I like it.
What do you think that does for the audience, though?
That's a good question.
What's the impact of this approach?
Well, I guess by offering her stories in different formats, she's reaching a wider audience, right?
That's
Allowing for, deeper engagement.
Yeah, some people connect more with visuals, others with audio. It shows how dedicated she is to making her work accessible, inviting people to engage with her ideas in whatever way feels right for them.
It's like choosing your own adventure, but with her stories.
Yeah. I like that analogy. Choosing your own adventure. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it really is. It's like she's letting you choose how you want to experience her work.
Exactly.
And, speaking of going deeper, we haven't talked much about the privé section yet.
Right.
You mentioned it earlier, and it sounds like that's where we get a more personal glimpse into Alexandra's mind.
It is. Privé is where she pulls back the curtain,
Okay.
and kind of lets you see into her creative process.
Interesting.
She shares the inspiration behind her novels, maybe some real life events or personal experiences that sparked certain plot lines or characters.
So it's like behind the scenes, but for her writing.
Exactly. But it's even more than that.
Okay.
She also uses the space to delve into deeper topics through essays.
Essays, huh?
Yeah, she writes about faith, of course.
Yeah, right.
But also contemporary challenges, even her own reflections on the writing process itself.
It's like a whole other side to her work.
Right. It's a chance for her to connect with her audience on a more personal level.
I'm really curious about these essays.
Yeah.
What kind of contemporary challenges does she write about?
Well, that's a good question.
Does she, take a stance on certain issues?
It's more about reflection than, preaching.
Yep.
Remember how we talked about her characters dealing with doubt?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of approach in her essays, I think.
I see.
She asks questions, explores different perspectives, encourages you to think for yourself.
That's refreshing, actually.
Right.
Especially nowadays when everyone seems so set in their ways.
Exactly. And that's what makes privé so valuable. It's not just about entertainment. It's about, engaging with ideas, challenging your own assumptions.
Right.
Exploring the complexities of the world.
Hearing you talk about how she weaves faith into her storytelling and encourages this deeper reflection, it makes me wonder about her overall goal.
Her purpose.
Yeah, like what's she ultimately trying to achieve with the Black Rose NYC?
That's a great question.
I mean, it's clearly more than just a platform for her books.
I think she sees it as a space for connection.
Connection, okay.
A place where she can share her stories and, connect with others on a deeper level.
So it's about building community.
Yeah, and I think it's also a testament to her belief in the power of stories.
What do you mean?
Well, the power of stories to inspire, to challenge, and ultimately to transform us.
So she's inviting us not only into her world, but also to look inward at ourselves.
Exactly. To find meaning and connection within her narratives.
It's a beautiful way to think about it.
It's like she's created this bridge between her inner world and ours.
Yeah.
Inviting us to cross over and explore not just her imagination, but also our own truths.
It's amazing how one person's creative vision can have such a ripple effect.
It really is.
Like touching on these universal themes that resonate with people from all walks of life.
I think it speaks to the power of authenticity.
Authenticity.
Being vulnerable, putting yourself out there. Alexandra is not afraid to share her heart, her struggles, her faith.
Right.
And by doing that, she creates a space where others feel safe to do the same.
It's like she's saying, here I am, flaws and all, let's connect, let's explore, let's grow together.
Exactly. And that's a powerful message, don't you think? Especially in a world that often tells us to hide our true selves.
It is.
Alexandra reminds us that it's in our vulnerabilities, in our shared human experiences, that we find real connection and meaning.
It's inspiring, honestly.
It is inspiring.
To see someone using their platform to create such a meaningful space, especially these days.
It makes you want to dive right in.
It really does.
Explore all the layers of her work, the novels, the essays, everything.
I am especially drawn to the Yugoslavian series.
Oh, yeah.
The idea of finding hope in such a dark time, exploring connection in a war-torn country, it's powerful.
I think you'll really connect with it.
The way she combines these intense emotions with the historical context and then those glimmers of hope, that's what makes her writing so captivating.
And don't forget about privé.
Oh, right.
It adds that extra layer, lets you see the person behind the stories.
Well, I know what I'll be doing this weekend. I'm off to explore the Black Rose NYC and get lost in Alexandra's world.
You won't regret it.
And for our listeners, we can't recommend this website enough.
Seriously.
Whether you love crime thrillers, historical fiction, thought-provoking essays, or just beautifully written stories, there's something there for everyone.
And remember, it's more than just entertainment.
Right.
It's an invitation to reflect,
Mm-hmm.
to engage with your own beliefs and experiences,
Yeah.
to connect with those deeper questions that shape our lives.
Yeah, it really makes you think about how we use our own platforms,
It does.
Makes you want to create something with more depth.
Yeah, something meaningful.
I'm so intrigued by the Yugoslavian series. I
Not
have to
you.
admit, finding hope amidst all of that devastation, exploring human connection in a war zone, it's just, wow.
It's a powerful story.
It really is.
Alexandra has this way of, weaving together those intense emotions with the history and then those little glimmers of hope. That's what makes it so captivating.
It's what makes her work so unique.
Don't forget about the privé section.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It gives you that extra layer, that connection to the person behind the stories.
Well, I know what I'll be doing this weekend. Exploring the Black Rose NYC, getting lost in Alexandra's world.
I think you'll really enjoy it.
I'm sure I will. And to our listeners, we highly recommend checking out her website.
Absolutely.
Whether you're into crime thrillers, historical fiction, thought-provoking essays, or just beautifully written stories, there's something there for everyone.
Seriously, something for everyone.
And it's more than just entertainment, as we've been saying.
It really is.
It's an invitation to reflect, to engage with your own beliefs,
Yeah, and experiences.
to connect with those big questions, the ones that really shape our lives.
It's a journey worth taking, for sure.
Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into the world of the Black Rose.
It's been a fascinating one.
It has. We hope you enjoyed exploring Alexandra's work with us, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into something new and exciting.
Until then,